Hi, this is Munson with Munson Music. I'm going to talk about how you can play a song called Dangerous by David Guetta. And it starts off with these cool little licks actually around an E chord. We'll talk about the chord in a moment, but you could kind of start low open E, and then second on the G, open G, fourth fret on the D, and then second fret on the D string. If you wanted to, you could even throw in another open E to keep that going. So if you wanted to kind of follow those string notes a little bit, that might make a cool intro lick. It's kind of that E, A, G, F sharp, E, A, G, F sharp, E, A, G, F sharp, E. Or you could back that up with a chord by starting on an E minor chord. And normally do that first finger on the A second, the second finger on the D second, and if you strum all those together, the sad sounds of E minor. Now you may also dig on lift or adding in third finger on the B third, pinky on the high third, making that an E minor 7. That might make some of the chord changes later on a little bit easier. And we kind of stay on that for 8 bars, and then we start making some other chord hits. You'll kind of hear some other stuff kind of happen in the keyboard, and we go to a C major chord. I normally do that first finger on the B first fret, second finger on the D second, third finger on the A third, and if you strum the A string to the high E string, that sounds a C major chord, and it sounds really happy. Now you may also dig on lifting off the first finger, making that a C major 7, or you could add in the pinky on the B third for C major 9 and kind of say some stuff around the C. Or another way to play C major 9 is to do first finger on the D second, second finger on the A third, third finger on the B third, pinky on the high E third, kind of working that for your C. And then from the C we go to a D major chord. We normally do that first finger on the G second, second finger on the high E second, third finger on the B third. And if you strum the D string to the high E string, the happy sounds of D major. Now you may also dig on lifting off the second finger, always a fun finger to lift. Makes it D sus 2. Or you could add in the pinky on the high E third for D suspended and kind of say some stuff around it. And then from the D we'd be going to a B minor chord. I normally do this as kind of a second fret bar. We'll talk about some easy options here too. But then second finger on the B third, third finger on the D fourth, pinky on the G fourth. If you strum all those together, the sad sounds of B minor. Now you may also dig on lifting off the pinky, making that a B minor 7. Or another way to play B minor 7 is to do first finger on the A second, second finger on the G second, third finger on the high E second, kind of working that with your B minor. Or you could work a B minor drone, doing first finger on the A second, second finger on the G second, third finger on the B third, pinky on the high E third. Would be a cool option. That way you can kind of leave the third finger and the fourth finger down. If you went C major 9 to the D sus to that B minor, that'd be kind of a cool change. Or you could even lift off the pinky, make it a B minor 11. And then from the B minor we go back to our C chord, and then we go to an A minor chord. I normally do this first finger on the B first fret, second finger on the D second, third finger on the G second. And if you strum all those together, that sounds an A minor chord, and it sounds really sad. Now around A minors, you may dig on lifting off the first finger, make that an A sus 2. Or you could add in the pinky on the B third for an A suspended and kind of say some stuff around it. Or you could lift off the third finger for an A minor 7. Or you could add in the pinky on the high E third for an A minor 7. Or you may dig on an A7 sus by doing first finger on the D second, second finger on the G second, third finger on the B third, pinky on the high E third. Kind of working that for the A. And then from the A minor we'd be going to a B7. Normally do that first finger on the D first fret, second finger on the A second, third finger on the G second, pinky on the high E second. That sounds a B7, which sounds really nasty. Or if you want to jazz that up, you can kind of take third finger and go over the G, B, and E, and make that a B9 if you kind of dig on that. And the weird part actually is at the very, very end, if you could kind of work a down count for the E minors, kind of an 8 down on each E minor. You could even work just big downs just to kind of simulate the keyboard. And then when we get to the CD, it's almost like we're halving things. So you want to do kind of 4 on the C, 4 on the D, 4 on the B minor, 4 on the C, and then we got an 8 count on the A minor, and then kind of an 8 count on the B7. Or you could use a strum pattern. And one of my favorite strum patterns for a 4/4 like this is down, down, up, up, down, up. So take the E minor and just tried that a lot. You had down, 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 down. The weird part is when we hit that CD change, you could kind of half the pattern. You could do just kind of a down, down, up on each of those chords timing wise, or you could split the pattern and do the C with a down, down, and then go to the D for the up, up, down. Kind of up to you as to how you want to do it. So you have kind of an E minor half, or E minor half. Then we get our C and D. C, D, strum pattern that you may dig on. This is a little bit more advanced, but definitely something to practice. It's something called a 16th note strum pattern. And what I mean by that is if you're tapping your foot to the beat, right now we're dividing that beat into two parts with our down, down, up, down, up. 1, 2, 1, 2, and that's called an 8th note. What a 16th note is where you divide that into 4 parts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And one of my favorite 16th note strum patterns is a long down, 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 up, down, down, up, down, up. So we took the E minor and just tried doing a down for 4. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's what you're doing on the first beat. Then on the second beat, you're doing a down on 1, down on 3, up on 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4, down, third beat, you do an up on 2, down on 3. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 up, down, 1 up, down, 1 up, down. And then on the last beat, you go down, up, right along with the 1, 2, 3, 4. So all together, you got down, 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 Now the weird part is when we get to that C and D, you may want to kind of half the pattern. You could do kind of a down, 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 up on each of those chords, the C and the D. Or you could, if you're a little bit more adventurous, you could split the pattern and do the C with a down, 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 up, and then go to the D for the up, down, down, up, down, up. And we have E minor for the down, 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 up. C for the up, down, down, up, down, up. And then we have our whole pattern on the A minor. And our whole pattern on the E7 through that end. So kind of pick that up from the C and D. You'd have the C. Our first verse. You can really use any of those strummings that we were just talking about through that part. But if we tried that with our down, down, up, down, up, you have the E minor. Try that through the first verse. We have the E minor, E minor, E minor, E minor, C, A minor, D, E minor, C, A minor, D, E minor, C, A minor, first chorus. So we tried that with a down, down, up, down, up. We have the E minor, C, A minor, D, E minor, C, A minor, D, C, C. Then you kind of have a big break where you may want to just kind of kill the strings and wait. Or I think if I was playing it out, I might want to go back to the D and build up some energy to go into that second verse. Or if you're digging on the 16th through the first chorus, we have the E minor, C, A minor, D, E minor, C, A minor, D, C, and then you can just break, or and then from there we'd be going into that second verse. It's kind of a variation of our first verse. Now one other thing I think about adding to the song though is bass notes. And a lot of times on that first down of the down, down, up, down, up, you're throwing a bass for the chord. So on the E minor you have the low E for the bass. On the C you have the A for the bass. On the A minor you have the A for the bass. And on the D you have the D for the bass. And on the B7 you have the A for the bass. On the B minor randomly you also have the bass. tried that second verse with a bass down, up, down, up. You'd have the E minor, C, E minor, C, E minor, C, A minor, D, E minor, C, A minor, D, E minor, C, A minor, D, C, and go to D. Or if you're digging on the 16th idea, we could add basses to that, and we could make it a bass down, down, up, down, down, up, down, up, or a bass, bass, down, down, up, down, 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 or a bass, bass, down, down, up, bass, down, up, down. That can be really cool on your halving chords because you do the E minor with the bass, down, down, up, and then go to the C for the up, bass, down, up, and then A minor with the bass, down, down, up, and then D with the up, bass, down, down. And dig on that. Might be really cool. So we tried our second verse kind of with our 16th with basses. We have an E minor, C, E minor, C, E minor, C, A minor, D, E minor, C, A minor, D, E minor, C, A minor, D, C, D. And from there, then we'll be going into our second chorus. So we tried that with a bass down, up, down, up. We have E minor, C, A minor, D, E minor, C, A minor, D, E minor, C, A minor, D, and our C, D. And then from there, then we're going into our bridge part, actually almost exactly like that second chorus. So we tried that with our 16th idea. We have the E minor, C, A minor, D, 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 and our C, D. And from there, then we'll be going into our third chorus. It's just like our second chorus. So we're going to E minor, C, A minor, D. Now, if you know there are licks around these chords too, feel free to take this lesson and kind of run with it any way you want to. There's lots of other ways you can kind of make the tune your own too. So it might be kind of cool to kind of experiment with that. We do that progression 1, 2, 3 times, then we get our C chord, and then we go to our D chord. Our outro part. And then from there, then we'll be going into our outro part. So we have E minor, C, A minor, D, E minor, C, A minor, D, E minor, C, A minor, D, E minor, C, A minor, D. And at the very end, we kind of have a big E minor chord. But that's the basics of how you can strum through Dangerous by David Guetta. So, good luck! Hi, wherever you are in YouTube land. This is Munson Summer with Munson Music Live, Munson Guitar Songs, Munson Covers, and Munson Jam Tracks. Thanking you for watching this video, and I hope you got something out of this video. I hope you like this video and subscribe to the channel to see lots more like it. I'm always open to your requests. If you have a song that you love, please let me know so I can write it down on the request list so I can add that to it, because there are probably other people out there who love that song too and would love to learn how to play it. So thanks so much for all the love that you give me, and I hope that you're doing well and kind of figuring out how you can talk with the instrument. We are a small music shop in the middle of nowhere in South Carolina, and you're supporting us by watching this channel. Really appreciate all that love. So best of luck, and let me know if there's anything that I can do to help you in particular too. You can contact me on Facebook. You can leave a message here in the comments section, and I respond to all the comments that I get. So best of luck to you wherever you are.